Recording. You were recording now. Okay, Bruce, everybody's here. It's,
Okay, at this time, I'd open the meeting.
Okay.
David, will you read the disclaimer?
Okay, I just want to note that it's 5:10 p.m. Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12th, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the Open Meeting Law, General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 19, and the Governor's March 15, 2020 order imposing strict limitations on the number of people that may gather in any one place, this meeting of the Freetown Cable Advisory Committee is being conducted via remote participation. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort is being made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings as provided in the order. A recording of the open session portion of this meeting will be posted to the town's YouTube channel, youtube.com/FreetownMA, following the conclusion of this meeting. So I just want to say that Mike Gala, is that how you pronounce your name, Mike?
Yes.
Or, okay.
Yep.
Is here. He's the representative of Comcast, Josh Teft and Bruce Wilbur. And I'm not a member, but I'm supporting staff on this. Bruce and Josh are members. The thought today was that we would make, both of us would make our presentations, and then we could reconvene at a later date to go through each item by item, I guess. So Mike, if you want to open it.
Sure. So I would say, to be fair, I don't have a presentation. How normally it works with a lot of other towns is that we obviously submitted a formal proposal just to reserve our rights. And that just has the same information and language pretty much from the previous license. So we can, I can listen to what your asks are, what your proposal are, and then we can kind of go from there. I would say, to be fair, that's our opening proposal.
All right. You did make mention it that was $65,000 was the one of the provisions.
Yes, that was the capital provision.
Yeah, capital was 65, and there was the 1% was going to remain.
Correct. Yep.
All right. Okay. All right. What I can do is I'm going to put our proposal up on the screen, and we can go item by item. Bruce, do you want to go over it, or do you want me to go over it?
You can do it, David. That way that'll be easier, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to see that.
All right. Let me try to find it. That's always an interesting.
That's what I was looking at myself.
All right. Files. No, it's not on there. I put it on the desktop. It usually comes right up top. Hold on a second. Is there somewhere? Screen, mail, oh, here we go. Can everybody see that?
Oh, there we go. Okay. Yep.
Okay, we have internally discussed the proposal. We also discussed the proposal with the Board of Selectmen at the last meeting. And we have a number of items that we are looking at to have as part of this contract. So I'll go through item by item. The first is to increase the franchise fee from 1% to 2%. Which will result in a net increase per subscriber. The purpose of the increase is to support paying videographers to cover meetings and events, basically salaries, training, operating expenses, equipment, and/or facilities as it relates to the PEG access program, and also legal fees as it relates to the cable franchise. Second would be 3 standard definition channels, PEG, public education and government, of which one of those channels would be a high def channel. We'd also like to take a look at adding an additional public access channel that's not governmental or education, but strictly for independent programming that we hope will be generated through community residents and other groups that are interested in utilizing the service. We're looking at a senior discount, and I know that it says up to $5, but that would be a minimum $5 per bill for seniors to be able to let them be able to afford at least basic cable. Our capital funding request is $250,000. It's broken out into two parts. One is to build out a new studio at a local, it should be at a location to be determined. We've been looking at FES, the Freetown Elementary School, potentially the regional high school, which had a studio previously, or finding another outside location in town that would serve as a studio for local programming, the cost of which would be borne through the capital funding request. That's over a period of the contract. Part A would be for equipment, which would be, the mixing boards, the cameras, stands, a server, way to broadcast, and all those kind of things. We'd also be looking to use, in conjunction with the franchise fee, some money to be able to have a cable teacher or an assistant if there's a school studio where we have either a part-time or half-time teacher teaching the students how to operate the equipment and how to produce local content. On the local government level, we are in the process of building a new police station, which will be completed by Labor Day. We're in the final stages of the build out on that. We do have a community room that is going to be used primarily by boards and committees for public hearings, for meetings, and for other public events. We are currently having the building wired with Cat 5 and electricity with drops for cameras, but we want to be able to fully equip that room so that we can utilize it to tape meetings or broadcast those meetings live. We're looking for an electronic program guide, which lets town boards, committees, nonprofits, and other local organizations utilize that to give information regarding services that they can provide or events that are going to be happening. We're looking at Freetown Cable, free cable drops with basic cable TV service to municipal buildings. We're looking at an infrastructure. Well, this came up at the last minute, but we made aware, and I'm not even sure if this is a contract item, more so than something that needs to be addressed regardless of what the contract is. But it's come to our attention that certain parts of town, particularly Bay Shores, because of some kind of a transmitter or transmission box, the cable and the Wi-Fi are incredibly spotty, and we want that addressed as part of the contract. And then the final thing is a contract term of 5 years, and the rationale behind that is that we're looking to the future in terms of where on-demand TV is going, whether we're going to be looking at 5G and how is that going to impact the marketplace, as well as satellite and potentially FiOS. We do have a link in town that services a certain number of students, a certain number of residents with FiOS service. So that's basic and general outline of the things that we're looking for. We know that there's give and take on all of this, but these are the parameters by which we're opening the negotiation. And our ultimate goal is to have this contract in place by the renewal date in October. So
Okay.
I don't know, Mike, if you have any comments about that or.
Yeah, I mean, I can, comment per se. I think, I can look at some stuff. We might be able to get, close to what you're looking for from a, financial standpoint. The 5-year thing would be a big hang up for us. We look for 10-year contracts. So that would be a big thing, especially with the money that you're looking at. We would be wanting a 10-year.
Well, yep. I would think that if we got close to these things, that the 10-year would be within reach.
Okay, that's fair.
So just to say up front that if we were to be able to achieve, a number of these objectives in terms of what we're looking at,
Yep.
10-year would definitely be a consideration.
Okay. That's reasonable. I would say that the senior discount is definitely doable. We provide a standard senior discount that every, town receives that asks for it. I can send you the parameters on that. It is not a $5 minimum, but I can send you guys the.
Well, Mike, can I interject here a second on that issue?
Sure.
I know that Comcast provides, and correct me if I'm wrong or maybe misled on some of this, but with school children who low and moderate income families, they give them the basic cable for free. Is that correct?
No, we have a Internet Essentials program where low income families can get the internet for $9.95 a month.
Okay, so my question is this, is that I know a lot of seniors in town, their family watches over them via camera. If they live alone or they live in a house, especially in Freetown, because we don't have any senior housings. And the concern that I've been faced with is the fact that, if seniors who are up in age, 70 or 80 in that area there, where their family can watch over them, is where we'd like to get some sort of a discount very similar to what that program is with the Essential program, so that they can have the basic internet so their family can overlook and see what's going on in their household with the family. If I'm making that clear enough.
Yep, I understand what you're saying. We did roll that program out to all low-income families.
Right.
So there's a potential there that they might qualify. I will send you the info on that, just so you know.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, that's a real concern, actually, is that our senior population, we want to make sure that they're able not only to get the internet, but a basic cable where they can keep, up with the news and, what's going on in the world. So,
Sure.
And it's tough when you're living on a fixed income like Social Security. That's a real concern.
Sure. I'll just touch on the program guide, because this is a common ask that isn't possible, given that the best way I can explain it from a technological standpoint is that so there's a head end which could service Freetown and a couple other towns.
Yeah.
What happens is those, I don't know what channels your public or government is, educational government is, but if it's channel 15 in Freetown, it could be, just say, I don't know, channel 15 in Lakeville, something like that,
Okay.
where it's technology wise, like if I put up on the guide, Freetown Board of Selectmen on a Tuesday night, then the people in Lakeville would see that on their guide for their government channel. So
All
that,
right.
you know, like the easiest way to explain it is if you're taking like an ESPN, which goes out to the whole region on
Yeah.
that channel, that's where that's where the guide can work, because that number for ESPN, whether it's like 700, is that throughout the region.
All right.
That's where the problem lies with the guide. And to be fair, no, other towns don't have it either, and multiple of
All
that.
right. Okay. All right.
And then
Any
with
other?
and then the only other thing, just to touch on with the free drops. So I don't know what you guys have for free drops now. I'm sure you have a couple free drops. So the FCC came out with a new order, which basically allows us to, if we choose to, recoup, if you're at a certain level, like we could charge back for the free drops, or the towns could opt to pay for the free drops. We haven't done either of that right now.
Okay.
Have done is, because of that FCC order, we haven't been including them in licenses in the past year. I think the FCC order is under appeal right now. I don't know where it stands or anything along those lines.
Okay.
We haven't, what we've done is we've removed them out of licenses, but I can tell you that we haven't, stopped providing that service. Let's put it that way.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So we can talk more about that too. And
Okay.
I'll have somebody look in that Bay Shores area. I'll just look at that on my own. That would be something that we wouldn't really address in the license, but let me look at that.
Yeah, it was something that came up last minute through a couple different people when they heard that we were doing. They said, "Oh, Jesus, we should." I saw it as more of a service issue than a contract issue. Yeah, but there are problems down there. I guess that there's the internet in particular is kind of spotty.
Okay.
And, something that definitely needs to be addressed.
And that Bay, you call it Bay Shores, is that like a known name in that?
Yes, it's an area in down towards Asona, yes, and it's almost like a little island. I don't know how to. Is that a proper description?
Yep.
Yeah. That
Okay.
there's a very narrow road that basically leads onto a large parcel of land, and there's probably, I don't know, at least a couple hundred houses down there.
Okay.
That they're not getting the service that they're paying for.
Okay.
We'd like to address it as a bulk, not individually,
Yeah.
I'm sure individually households have been calling up and complaining, but, at this point, it should be, a one item for that whole island.
Okay. I'll have somebody start to look into that tomorrow, just so I have some more information there.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that's just to be clear, you asked for 3 SD channels. You had PEG, so you had public education and government.
Yeah.
And then you said include 1 additional public access channel. So I guess I'm a little.
Well, I don't know if would you consider the public channel to be would that be a local programming channel?
Yes.
All right. Okay, so there's
Places.
a misunderstanding about that.
Yeah, so I just want to be clear, just so I understand what you guys are looking for. You're looking for 3 channels total,
Yes.
but you
Yes.
want one of them to be HD.
Yes.
Okay.
So I would probably the additional access channel you can strike.
Okay. So 3 total, 1 HD.
Is that feasible?
I think if we can get to everything else, I think that's feasible. And it'd really be up to you as the town to decide, what channel you want to be HD, whether you want it public, education, or government.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, we can explore that.
And I don't want to really comment on money right now. I just want to kind of look at your requirement, look at some things.
All right.
Would it be worthwhile? Yeah, I know you want to get done by October, so is it worthwhile to schedule another meeting here? Do you guys hold this meeting like once a month?
Lately, we hold it whenever we need to. So
Yeah.
whatever your suggestion is, we'd like to talk about, and have another meeting again ourselves. And then, of course, one with you.
Sure. Why don't you do this? Dave, can you email me what I'm looking at right now, that proposal?
I can do that. And what I'll do is I noticed couple little things that are wrong, and I'll fix those and
Yeah.
and then and I'll take out the additional public access.
Okay.
And then you can I'll send it off to you, and we'll have a meeting on our end, and then maybe like in 2 weeks, have another meeting.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
How far out you want to go?
2 weeks is fine. The 29th. I'd love to. If you want by October, I leave for vacation like that Friday for
All right.
like a week and a half. So I'd rather meet before then, and maybe we get far enough along at that point.
All right. That's all right.
Yeah.
So you leave on the 29th, you said?
No, I leave on the 31st, but I was saying 3 weeks
Oh,
out,
all right.
would be the 29th.
All right. So we'd have a meeting next week, and then a meeting after that on the 29th with you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Okay.
And we'll do, actually, Josh, is that okay with you in terms of the,
Yeah, if we do, let me just check one thing real quick.
Now, would you come back, Mike, would you come back with something in writing so we can review it as well?
well, they did provide us with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did give
That
us the
packet.
one. Right.
Yeah, I can respond. That's kind of why I wanted him to
Yeah,
say we can have something to consider there.
Yeah, Wednesday the 29th works. I don't have anything on that right now.
All right. We'll do it at 5.
That works for me.
yeah, 5's okay. Sometimes I get tied up, but not much long.
All right. Okay. And then we'll figure out when we're going to meet next week.
Yeah.
All right, very good. I thought this was pretty productive, and hopefully we're going to be able to, get this wrapped up relatively quick and, move forward. And Mike, I want to say thank you for the few things that you've helped us with over the last few months with the police station and all of that. So we appreciate that.
Oh, of course. Yeah. You have my contact. So if anything comes up, just let me know.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Thank you. And do we have anything else to discuss, or is that it?
I think that's it. You got anything, Josh?
No, I think I'm good today.
Okay.
All right. Very
So-
good.
We'll schedule a meeting next week then anyways, right,
I'll
David?
schedule one, and I'll send out an invite. How's that? And I know Josh had said earlier that Tuesdays were good for him. So, we'll look potentially Tuesday.
21st.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, that's fine with me right now. Yep.
Okay. Very good. Thank you all. Have a good evening.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank
All
you.
right. Take care. Bye-bye.